Does polymorphism depend on inheritance? Hello, I'm Chris Athanas. I'm a KMP developer. Tech Support said they're coming out Tuesday to close that bad boy up. We'll see, right? That's the promise. That's the big promise. All right. Uncle Bob talking about polymorphism. Okay. I have mixed feelings about Uncle Bob. Some stuff he says is okay. Other stuff is like, what are you talking about? And other stuff is like, man, I think you're. Are you in this decade talking about programming in this decade, or like big projects, or just like the idea of it is really odd. Some things he says is just very strange. But let's let him cook. Let's let him cook for a minute.
In statically typed languages like C++, Java, and C#, polymorphism depends upon inheritance. But in dynamically typed languages like Ruby or Smalltalk or Python, no inheritance is necessary. And in fact, inheritance is a kind of backwater relationship that hardly anybody uses in those languages. Right?
I mean, it depends on the style. I don't think you have to use classes for polymorphism. Blah blah blah. I think it's just a style of programming. I think you can get away with it, especially Kotlin. You can. I don't think it's not as necessary, and I don't think it ever was necessary. But let's keep going.
We just don't inherit much in Ruby. Every once in a while. If you want to think about it, think about inheritance in Ruby as being roughly equivalent to private inheritance in C++. It's for inheriting implementation, but not for polymorphism. So,
not for entertaining. What do you say?
Inheritance in C++. It's for inheriting implementation, but not for polymorphism.
It's for inheriting the implementation, but not for polymorphism. All right.
So, yes, in a statically typed language, we need inheritance to get polymorphism. What is the strongest relationship we've got? In a statically typed language, what is the tightest coupling you can have between two classes? Inheritance. If you inherit from a base class, you depend on everything inside that base class, and everything it depends on. You can't forward declare a base class if you inherit from it. You can forward declare all the classes you use. You cannot forward declare something you inherit from. So this is a very tight coupling. And yet, it's the coupling that gives us polymorphism.
Forward inherit. I just avoid inheritance. Unless it's very shallow, maybe 2 levels deep top. It's for describing your domain data entities, but as a general purpose, how to save code or whatever, it's been a failure. Never meant for that, by the way.
Type languages live in this bizarre world where the relationship that provides flexibility is the tightest coupling we've got. So we have this real strange mixture of...
I see, he's just so vague with what he's talking about.
Of rigidity and flexibility in statically typed languages. Dynamically typed languages abandon that. Which is why there's a lot of people who do dynamically typed languages.
I mean, we still have classes in dynamically typed languages. It's just done at runtime and implied in different ways. It does get a little crazy. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it has a different purpose.
It's just a lot easier to write code in a dynamically typed language. A lot of studies have been done on this.
I mean, is it? What kind of code? Writing it? What about reading it? What about debugging it? What about maintaining it? What about extending it? Modifying it? Have studies been done on that, Mr. Bob? Can you show me the study? Do you describe the study?
This dynamically typed programmers typically get things done 5 times faster than statically typed programmers.
What does that mean? I don't even know what that means. Like 5 times faster because you're in JavaScript? I don't think that's true. I don't think that's even true. Like, I mean, can you prototype something up faster without having to have the class structure ahead of time? But why are you breaking into class structures unless you're doing some sort of simulation? Like, there's reasons, like, wow, it's so vague.
For whatever reason. And maybe it's not 5, maybe it's 4, maybe it's 3, but nobody...
Oh, now you're switching it around, so you're backtracking? Man, it's really hard to trust this guy.
Nobody thinks that a Ruby programmer is slower than a C++ programmer.
I mean, it depends on what you're doing, right? Are you writing a ray tracer, or are you writing a web server? I mean, it just depends on what you're doing. What do you mean faster? It's so strange. This is somebody just like off the cuff general comments. context free. I mean, we're only listening to a minute, but that's how his stuff is, though. That's like you're getting a peek into his world, it's like a peek into his brain. All right, that's the way that is. That was a short one, short and sweet. Give me a like, subscribe. You'll keep going and ranting. I'll give up on Bob eventually, but right now it's just I gotta thrash him around a little bit because it's just been so bad. When I first encountered it, I was like, everybody's like, "He's so amazing, it's so awesome." All that. Let's do his stuff. I'm like, what is this guy talking about half the time? Like, I guess it was just because a lot of the programmers just hadn't had a lot of experience like I had. I had like 25 years. I don't tell people I have 25-year experience. I'm just like, yeah, I know about stuff. But like they would come in, but they'd only done web stuff. I'd been done all this other crap. Like this guy does just like vagaries. Like what? He's like very crud focused. I don't know. It's just I don't know. All right, like and subscribe. Talk to you later.